An absolutely thrilling victory for Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl, winning 45-38. I'm Mike Singer. He's Tim Hyde. We are live on YouTube just a few minutes after the conclusion of that game. Tim, my phone was blowing up from texting you, Mr. Goolsby, throughout the game, and we will have a Mike Goolsby show on Sunday. So definitely make sure to check out our YouTube page for that on Sunday evening. But Mr. Hyde, your initial thoughts here. Notre Dame 45, South Carolina 38.
Right here, someone just put in the chat room, my heart can't take this, and that was me. I'll be honest with you. That was excruciating, frustrating, thrilling. You want to name it. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable comeback, unbelievable game. Both teams. I know, the old meaningless bowl games, huh? Holy moly. I was watching that Florida State game last night, and those two teams, them and Oklahoma, went toe-to-toe for 60 minutes, the same today. And, yeah, both teams laid it on the line. Both teams wanted this so darn bad. And Notre Dame gets it by one play, Mike. Exhausting. Just a thrilling game. I'm looking forward to chatting about it, trying to get my thoughts together, I'll be honest. And took a lot of notes, a lot of things. I was reading Twitter at halftime. People were losing their mind. I went back. I literally watched the whole first half real quick during halftime, just the offense. And a lot of good things, some frustrating things. But Notre Dame got a win without its team MVP, without its four defensive starters out. And Hart, Joseph didn't play, Adamiola, Foskey, then Morrison gets nicked up, and they win a freaking game with Tyler Buckner. Tyler Buckner gets a win in a start, and kudos to that young man. I don't know what the stats are. He played relentless. I know the pick sixes are as frustrating as could be, Mike, and I'm looking forward to chatting about those, but that guy played his butt off today. He really did, and it was a wild football game. And then just the close. Well, I mean, what did Notre Dame defense have? Something like 5 straight 3-and-outs at one point, which you don't think about it when you're looking at the score. But it was a crazy game, Mike. And let's get to talking with everybody.
Yeah. Three straight. Yeah, 3-and-outs, or 4 straight, and then the turnover on down. So there really is so much to talk about. How about this? A 50 bomb from Ryan says, been watching all year. Time to pay the piper and keep up the great content. Go Irish.
Ryan, thank you. Happy New Year. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey,
I'm looking for my DJ air horn to go off, but I don't have it saved. Ryan, I really appreciate the super chat, man. That's really
cool. Yeah. We definitely need an air horn on that. Let me take 30 more seconds, Mike, because doing the Timmy Hyde research here today, I started thinking, with this win, Notre Dame's played a bunch of ranked games and they've won. When I say ranked, I go at time of game. I know some people don't like doing that. I do it. You're playing a team that's ranked that day, you count it. Mike, do you know this is the 26th season without Lou Holtz? Mike, this is only the 5th time, crazy number, 5 times since the Holtz era that Notre Dame has a winning record against ranked teams. I went back and I was just like, I'm dying to see what that was. And you got the Willingham great team in 02, Weiss's 05 year. And then you have Kelly's 2 best teams, 2012 and 18. Those are the only seasons. And those are iconic, legendary. You could write a book on those teams. And then you got Marcus Freeman's year 1, everybody. He ended up going 4-2 this year against ranked teams. Who would have thought after Marshall, Stanford? So I just 5 times in 26 years. I think that's pretty awesome.
All right. This is for Ryan.
Yes.
I pulled up the DJ air horn on my phone. and for Andrew. Hey, we're dropping another DJ air horn. Thank you to first YouTube search there I did on my phone. Really appreciate you guys and all the support here. It's awesome. Well, an incredible up and down, fun to follow season, finishing 9-4. Oh, there's so much good and so much bad to dissect from this game. Yeah, I mean, this kind of some drama. I mean, for the grand scheme of things, the Gator Bowl is not really that important, but winning against a ranked SEC
Yes.
team, it was
Yes.
basically a road game.
Oh
Look,
my
I mean, the
gosh.
Gamecocks had a lot of key players out too,
Sure.
but
Oh, without a doubt.
Notre Dame did, so fairly even. But just wow, just what a wow performance, Tim. I'll give the floor back to you.
I mean, just real quick on that, talking about the road. I mean, kudos to all those people coming down from South Carolina. That place was packed. You would have thought this was a Final Four game. The way that, I mean, that stadium was loud. I love the crowd shots. They did the kudos to the Southern Cal. Geez, Tim, South Carolina there, where they do their stuff in their stadium with their songs and all that. It was an unbelievable atmosphere, unbelievable bowl game. Watching that on television. It was electric, and just 60 minutes of what the living heck at sometimes. And let's get to some questions. Let's see what's going on out there, what people want to chat about, and then whatever you got, Mike. My brain's scrambling. I'm running.
Yeah,
but I got a lot of good things on my head. And I'm just excited to talk about this win. Some big performances.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we have to go to, and folks, please do hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not yet. If you're new here, season's over, but still we'll have a lot of good stuff coming up in the off season. There's always going to be stuff to talk about. And Tim, we're still going to do our Wednesday night live shows in the off season, right? Every Wednesday.
Oh my god, Mike, come on! It's Notre Dame football, man. There's never a week off. You usually get a couple days off, but no, there's so much after this game. And, it's funny. I was writing down all the guys. I know just, real quick, talking about the meaningless bowl game. And I'm writing down all these players that played today that are going to be on that field in Dublin, Ireland next year. I mean, there's a lot of football players coming back that played today. And if they get, some guy out of North Carolina that's going to be coming once that's official. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about heading into Marcus Freeman's second year. It's going to be a heck of an offseason talking Notre Dame football.
What did you make of Tyler Buckner's performance today?
Gutsy, wild, backyard. I know Mike Goolsby's going to say that probably 12 times on Sunday night. This is backyard football. He's running around, crazy man, slinging the rock. Oh, throw it in the dirt. Oh, sorry, buddy. He had a wide open screen one time he throws in the dirt. The very first possession, Mike, he's got Thomas. By the way, I think Thomas was the leading receiver today. What a game by him. Thomas is wide open. He overthrows him. Had Buckner just taken a deep breath, he had so much pass protection and just chilled. He's got Colsey running probably for a 60-yard post for a touchdown on the third play of the game. But that's experience, only his third game start. But then I'm charting it, Mike, and offensively, man, they were in they had a lot of momentum. I know we'll probably hear fire the OC. Yeah, horrible call. We'll talk about that inside the 10. But Notre Dame's offense was moving. Even on the punt drives, the majority of them were just like one dude away, and it's a first down or a ball here or there. But overall, I thought Buckner played his tails off. I love the fact that you could tell Freeman and Reese were like, we're not leaving this stadium without a win. So Buckner, you're running the football. And Buckner looks like a damn tailback, Mike, when he's running, doesn't he? He's a tailback.
Tim, I always love like a little good metaphor. You know me. I love a good metaphor. So someone dropped a comment earlier. Yes, Singer, Notre Dame and Liverpool won today. So Liverpool has a new striker who they've nicknamed him Chaos because he either does something amazing or something like, what the hell are you thinking? I think we need to call Buckner Chaos because, I mean, the dude accounted for 7 touchdowns today, 5 for Notre Dame, and then 2 for South Carolina. I mean, there is so much good and so much bad, but I love it. I love it. He's so interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
He makes for great content, great talking points. He keeps me in business. Like, wow.
I know, it's like on one of the texts with Goolsby, he probably thought I was upset. I was like, dude, Buckner's playing his tail off. I'm fine with what Buckner's doing. You're going to get what you get with Tyler Buckner, correct? Some of the passes today were the same passes we saw in Ohio State and Marshall. Some low ones, some missed throws. He has got a guy wide open. He overthrows him. He's got one out route today he doesn't hit. That's Tyler Buckner. That's what he is. He is not going to be back there, completing 75% in a game. He's not. Yet he threw that touchdown pass to Lindsey. Oh my God, great! How about Lindsey going out with huge plays in the fake punt? Sherwood got on the stats. Sherwood, I think a 20-yard pass that counts as, Mike. Yep. So he's in the stats. And then obviously the beautiful call at the end to win it to Evans. But his running game, the fact that he ran the ball, had some cuts, and he just ran like he was some 17-year-old kid back down there in La Jolla again, running the ball and just trying to take over a game. So,
Tim, with Drew Pine, a lot of the issues we had with Drew were just a lot of it out of his control, right? It was just his God-given physical ability. Buckner, it's a little bit of the opposite, right? His God-given physical ability is, it's outstanding. Maybe he's not 6'4", but he's about 6'1", but his athleticism, and he's got I thought he could throw the ball downfield a little bit. I thought Notre Dame should have thrown it downfield a little bit more. I actually written down in my notes, why have they only taken one shot? We can talk about the Merriweather play in a bit. And then right after I wrote that down, they took the bomb to Lindsey. But for Buckner, if a lot of his issues it can come with coaching, Goolsby said that nail on the head on this one. The kid's got some serious talent, just a gamer in his own right, different than Pine. And there's different players, but he's a gamer in his own right.
Oh yeah. He looked today like he did his junior year in his highlights, but he was the state player of the year for his division in California. And then he was going to Helix, one of the premier high schools in San Diego, to go ball out, play at a higher level, against bigger competition, and then COVID hit. So, you just start going down this Buckner, rabbit hole, and the poor guy has not played a lot of football. It's like this was only his third start since 2019. It's like, that's crazy when you think about that. We're going into 2023 here in just a couple days. 3 starts since 2019. So I thought he played his tail off. He really did. He competed. He doesn't get down on. He was down when he threw that pick. That last one that tied it, and it was just like, but he rallied, and you can see the guys on the sideline rallying because he didn't have to force that. The call, the call was horrible. I saw a super chat about it. Call was brutal, but overall, man, he's got to be. He's player of the game. He single-handedly just ran around and went crazy, keeping things going around for them, and kept it going. And even the first pick six, he's trying to hit a circle route to Diggs, and Lugg's guy gets his arm up, tips it, bam, pick six off the tip, off of Josh Lugg's guy. So it's not like he threw it into the like the Marshall one, but it was heck of a ball game by Tyler Buckner. So obviously he's going to have confidence. He's going to have a lot of momentum heading into that spring. This transfer becomes official. Notre Dame quarterback room is going to be pretty strong.
It's going to be, I think for the first time in a while that you felt this good about the quarterback room moving forward. Yes. With Buckner having this performance again, a good bit of bad, but teachable things, right? And we're going to get some super chats that, we'll talk about that play call right through the third pick, but a lot of good. That was a much better performance from Buckner than I was expecting.
Yeah, one of the QB, the guy just made a comment about the QB sneaks. The fact that there was like 12 guys in the 2A gaps, and he sees that and he scoots over to the right,
that was nice.
Off tackle, and goes and gets 5 yards. Yeah. He got a couple of that. It was a great job.
I want to appreciate Ryan again for the super chat. That was pretty cool to see. The differing opinions on Tommy Rees for this game. You got Drunk Vigo saying Tommy did a pretty good job. To fire him immediately, game was over and you pass.
Okay, yeah, if you really want to sit back and watch the game over 60 minutes, the offense did a heck of a lot of good things. So the game was over and you pass. 1,000% agree. Totally agree with that. I thought I was going to, jump out the window. I'm over at my mother-in-law's watching the game with the family downstairs, and she's like, Tim, why did they do that? Don't ask me, Donna. It's like, don't ask. And no, it was a horrible call. You're not gonna fire a football coach over that, because look what they did. They were down multiple scores, came back, take the lead, got momentum. Offense was rolling in this game once they got going. There's so many darn great calls in this football game. So was it a bad call? Horrendous call. I'll be honest. I was texting with Mike and Goolsby. I've seen a lot of Notre Dame football calls. If someone out there has seen a worse call than that, let me know, because I'm just racking my brain in some games trying to figure out a worse call. Luckily, Notre Dame gets the ball right back, and they go right down and lost no momentum and go right down and score a touchdown and win the game. So you can't. The OC wasn't, licking his wounds, crying over spilt milk. Boom, let's rally, let's go right down, and that's exactly what they did, and went and won the football game.
All right, let's get to a little rapid fire. Let's go through some comments and questions here. Dave86 with $2 super chat. Appreciate that. He says triple win, took the Irish on the spread and the over. So yeah,
and the over.
Couple wins there, and the Irish won.
Yes.
So yeah, and then Andrew did drop this $50 super sticker and said best Notre Dame coverage on the web, which is very appreciated, and I do tend to agree. Michael asked, "What's the largest super chat y'all have ever gotten?" I don't remember, but there was one in 2020. This was before we even got Tim. It was after the North Carolina game in 2020. Someone just randomly dropped $100 super chat, and that one's always stuck with me. That was like our first big super chat. That is that quite like that. Why do you guys wear ties? Is there a dress code after games? Hey, you look good. You play good. So that's
after game. After game policy. That's the Singer rules. So
John says, I didn't get to see the game. Which new players play good, dude? Just respectfully turn this off and go watch the game. That's yeah.
Players played good. Well, let me just pause real quick on that. Tuli Alamaka played a ton.
Yeah.
Jordan Botello's not new. He's a junior, obviously, but man, did he play! He had 2 sacks today. He played a ton. Merriweather, obviously, back from the concussion. Offensively, it just looked like the same guys, except for Stays played obviously more than he's played all year because he's the second tight end, and Evans just played a bunch out there. Mickey may have never came off the field, so he played his tail off. And obviously we saw a lot of Cauley early in the game. I don't know how much he played in the second half. He played a ton in the first half. And Jalen Sneed was lost, to be nice, Mike. He looked like a confused man out there. But, man, he plays hard. And that guy's got a lot of speed and a lot of physicality where he's not coming off the field next year. We're going to see him out there all over the place, I think, on next year's D.
JP says, TR bad call and end zone pick, but that game-winning TD passed the guts of a burglar. Happy New Year to the whole B&G crew, JP.
Yes.
Appreciate the super chat.
Huge call to Evans. Huge call on third down just to go for it because you could settle for a field goal. But I bet you $2 they're thinking on that other side with Freeman and them, like those dudes are the best special teams in America. We're not letting them set up a overshift, block this thing, go into overtime. Let's go for it right here and now. So huge call on to run that, the tight end Hyde right there.
All right, Tim, let's hear from a sponsor real quick and a personal favorite of mine for sure. And this is the Leprechauns Game Day book by Mike Brown, a former Notre Dame Leprechaun. This is an officially licensed children's book that describes the beautiful pageantry of a football Saturday at Notre Dame. Follow the Leprechaun on an adventure from step off into the tunnel and onto Notre Dame's field as he leads the team to an Irish victory. Visit lepgameday.com. That's lepgameday.com and enter BG22. That promo code is BG22 to get your author signed copy today. To order, go to lepgameday.com, enter that promo code, and get your personally signed copy. Perfect. I guess I need to update my text here. Maybe not a perfect Christmas gift anymore, but if you forgot to get someone a Christmas gift or a birthday gift coming up soon, this is certainly guaranteed to delight the Irish fan in your life. So folks, please do head over to lepgameday.com. If you're watching this on your TV, scan that little QR code down there in the right bottom of the screen. So definitely appreciate Mike Brown and the Leprechauns Game Day book. If you have a young one, you definitely need to pick up that book. It'll be in your family for a long time, and it's a good way to brainwash the little children into loving Notre Dame. All right, let's get back to this. A couple more comments here. Michael Ryan says, "What an emotional roller coaster! Go Irish." Yes. Tim, are you okay yet? You hanging in there? Is your heart?
It's crazy because woke up today. Obviously, I'm always excited to watch Notre Dame because I'm thinking of, there's so many, like, what is this game? Is it, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. But then that's what I'm saying. I started writing down all these guys. I'm like, well, it does matter because there's like 80% of the guys that played today are coming back. There's a lot of football guys coming back. And you knew they were going to get Snead in there. You knew Mickey was going to play a lot. Buckner's first game back. So there's so much intrigue with that. You said it, Mike, SEC team, a ranked SEC team. This is the first time since 2006 the Gator Bowl's got 2 ranked teams.
And so how about this, Tim? South Carolina, again, lost a lot of players due to portal and opt-outs or whatever. But their last 2 games beat Tennessee and Clemson, the teams that are playing as we record this, right, in the Orange Bowl.
Yes, they got guys, and we saw that today. They have dudes on their foot, even with some of the opt-outs. They have dudes. It's an SEC football team. It's a bowl team. It's a team that won 8 games. Like you're saying, it's a team that just whitewashed Tennessee, knocking them out of the playoffs, knocking Clemson out of the playoffs the last 2 games. And Coach Beamer said this multiple times, like they wanted this game worse than the other 2 because this one matters so much because it would have been beating Notre Dame to have 3 straight wins like that to hit the recruiting trail. That's why his team played with so much emotion, so much fire, trick plays, the fake field goal, absolutely atrocious by Notre Dame. How do you not see that? But just early on, Mike, I know we were texting and you're probably laughing to Goolsby and I, but it was like, it literally looked like Notre Dame just showed up, right? It's like, guys, do you know there's a football game going on, right? Because South Carolina wants to beat you 55-14. That's what it felt like early on. So, and then Notre Dame just kept playing, and it was almost like, all right, it's that a football game, 60 minutes. And sometimes you got to have that mentality of just keep fighting, and body blows on offense. Offensive line was horrible, and they just kept body blowing and just smashing you. And the key, I'll say it a million times, is running backs. It's the ability to cut. And lo and behold, the running back started making cuts, touchdowns, huge runs. And that was the difference in the second half, was the running back's ability to make some cuts, which were not happening in the first, 2.5 quarters.
I got comments or super chats from Andrew and Jared we'll get to quickly, or just here in a little bit. But, Willie says fire Reese as soon as possible, please. But here's the thing. I think that the fire the offensive coordinator and bench the quarterback are the 2 most common things you'll hear fans say if they're upset about something. We haven't seen too many comments of people being like, "Oh, Al Golden needs to go." Notre Dame's defense
is atrocious.
Has been really bad at times this season. Tim, I wrote down my notes like what I want to ask Tim Hyde what he thinks of Notre Dame's defense, not only in this game but just the entire season. Just very average. Ben Morrison's been fantastic, right? 6 picks. But overall, this defense, it's just okay.
It's solid at times. They get gashed on the run because they want to play that NFL style of nickel, which I call the NFL, the 2 down guys, 2 stand-up guys. They get gashed a bunch. But going back on this fire OC, so let me take 2 seconds to take a deep breath. So the offense scores 45 points. I think I heard the announce 45 points, by the way, with no pick sixes, no special teams, none of that. 45 points straight from the offense in a bowl game against an SEC team that's ranked ahead of you, mind you. Ahead of you, they are in the rankings. And you want to fire the offensive coordinator? And I thought I heard the announcer say a bowl record, total offense by a Notre Dame football team in a bowl.
Huh.
I thought I heard that. So, like I said, I haven't seen the final stats. And let's just go fire the offensive coordinator. It makes no sense whatsoever. So I don't understand the comments. They just scored 45 points and put up almost 600 yards, and the offense was the issue today. Okay.
Speaking of fire, I'm fired up. Michael Rogers just broke our record, 101. He says, "Thanks, gents. Great coverage for what we hope is Coach Freeman's worst season." Yeah, 9-4.
Great point there.
Yeah, if that's his worst season, you'll definitely take that, especially if he's at Notre Dame for a long time. So Michael Rogers. See this little red in the super chat here. I feel like I've never seen this red. So
Christmas. It's a Happy New Year one.
Well, the higher the amounts, the different new colors we get to see. So, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Well, hold on. The guy says, didn't the O give up 14 points? Yeah. Yeah. By 2 horrible pass plays. A tip for a pick 6 and throwing into coverage in the end zone. Yes.
I thought G Pine's passes were only tipped. I didn't know other quarterbacks had tipped passes.
Exactly. By the way, there's plenty of tip passes. I want to text you, Mike, every Sunday when I'm watching NFL, cleaning the house with the kids. I see 3-4 tips every week, and I just want to be like, text Mike, like, hey, it's happening here in the Colts game, believe it or not, right? So
yeah, their quarterbacks are 6'6".
Exactly. Yeah. So it happens everywhere.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, Notre Dame getting its revenge, beating a USC team. They lost, at the end of November, but yeah. From one big generous donation from Ryan, saying, hey, Mr. Rogers the man. So definitely appreciate this. Let me know, Mike, if you have any other questions, comments you want us to discuss from the game. Andrew says really fun game. Can you talk about the O-line? How did they play? Tim, it felt like a kind of a standard Notre Dame O-line performance. Like you think, like Buckner got hit a lot. But Pine got hit a lot too. Like Pine, you were like, holy crap, this kid just keeps getting back up. This kid's so tough. Buckner, so it felt kind of normal, or am I totally wrong here, Tim?
Yeah, normal is in teams are just going to be like, boom, linebackers just going to shoot gaps. I'm just going to just downhill, just come right after you.
Normal, just like those are offensive line performance that it's been kind of standard these past several weeks, right?
Yeah, it was sloppy in that first half. They're only averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. They're only in the 50. God, what was that, Mike? I want to say they only had 50 right here, Mike. They had 17 rushes for 55 yards at halftime. They had 17 passes, 17 rushes. So the offense was 50-50 in the first half, keeping South Carolina.
Yeah, 54 rush yards. Sack adjusted. I don't know if it's here. But yeah, at the first half, just 54.
But they were struggling. But I'm telling you, and that's the thing with offensive line is, they get blamed for so much. It's only 5 dudes blocking 5 guys. So there are other things. That's why I always say there's times the running backs need to make a play. The running backs need to be able to read a block and adjust off of that. Once the back started doing that, Diggs, huge run. That's 3rd and 2, and he hits that run for the touchdown. That was a straight cutback. Which is funny because Estime is the best cutback guy, and he's the slowest guy, but he is really good at cutbacks.
Yeah.
Once he gets going and he starts to get a feel for it early on, these backs just run right into the backs of the guards in the center, and it's like, guys, cut outside. So, but it's the body blows, and that Notre Dame offensive line kept doing it. The backs are physical. And they take a lot of pride, and you just saw just wearing South Carolina just wore down, and I think that's the benefit of the Notre Dame offensive line there.
Yeah, Jared says that running back room next year is going to be even crazier than it was this year. Yeah, you get Logan Diggs and Audric Estime, a year older, Jabran Payne, the freshman from this season, Jadarian Price is healthy, and I think Jeremiah Love has to play. He's the best athlete in my opinion.
They got to get that's a great point. They got to find a spot for him to.
Speaking of finding a spot, if I'm Chris Tyree, I don't know what his plans are for next season, but if I'm still considering, playing at Notre Dame next year, I'm sitting down with Tommy Rees and being like, dude, how are you going to plan to use me? Because if I'm not going to be, a lead back, he had 5 carries in this game and then caught 4 passes, but for 10 yards. If I'm not going to be a focal point in this offense, I'm out of here. He can go to a group of 5 school and be a number 1 back. Tim.
I agree. And I'm reading this one comment right here. It says, stop running Tyree up the middle. And it's like, but that is what the scheme is. It's the duo scheme, the inside runs scheme. It is meant to cut. It is meant to cut back. It's not dive. It's not old school dive. You watching the old wishbone, giving it to the fullback in the A gap. It is a cut back scheme. And once these backs start learning where to cut back, start to feel it, you saw what happened in the second half. Diggs, Estime just went off on cutbacks. My humble opinion, whether you agree or not, I don't think Chris Tyree is a really good running back. I just don't. Is he fast? Is he athletic? Sure. The guy, I've never seen him really cut back at all. There's times when he can. He is speedy. They gave him a couple outside zones, which he got going on them. One of them, by the way, what was Audric Estime doing when he's Canada, the Canadian play where he's going forward?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Poor Tyree. That's Tyree's best run of the game. He rips off a 15-yard outside zone, and Estime is running Canada. Going forward motion. I think he's with Edmonton Eskimos. And I'm just like, what the heck? Tyree is the third back. And how many third backs in college football are playing? Think of this. The message board, it's always get this guy the ball. And why isn't Tyree getting the ball? Because the other two guys are better. He is the third running back, and they do mix him into the offense. That's just my opinion. Like you're saying, Mike, if he leaves, I think Notre Dame's going to be okay.
Yeah. All right. I think we need to do it again. We got another big super chat. Harold dropping $100. Appreciate it, Harold. Says, I'm a believer in Marcus Freeman now. He's redeemed the Marshall loss, and we have a lot to look forward to next year. Yeah, I really appreciate the super chats. Some big ones tonight, folks. Really appreciate it. And
thank you, Harold.
I mean, like this is the end of the season, but I mean, there's no off season. The off season is like our season because that's when that's when we really dive into some fun stuff and talk a lot of recruiting if you want to get into recruiting more if you don't follow recruiting folks. So yeah, Harold, I really appreciate it, dude. Assess year number one under Marcus Freeman. I think it's a note here, Tim, is he did get that first bowl win. Last year there was a collapse in the Fiesta Bowl. This is a nice rebound again against that SEC opponent that was ranked.
Yes, it's huge. And I just, man, I've coached for many years, and it's like I sit back and it's like Freeman. I mean, this team, Mike, as we were sitting there after Marshall, more so when they're sitting 3-3 after Stanford. How in the world they lose to Stanford? Marshall, hey, I will always say I understand Marshall. You just went to a Super Bowl at Ohio State. You spent 9 months getting ready for that game. You lost it. You're coming back playing Marshall. Oh, we're going to beat these guys. Let's just go out there. And that was the tone in the press conference that week. And they didn't make plays, right? If Buckner hits Lindsey, the game's over. At halftime, they're going to walk away and win this game, blowing them out. And then Stanford, after the big, 2 back-to-back great wins with UNC and BYU, then they have a letdown. Yeah, Mike, we were sitting there texting like, is Mayer going to keep playing? Is Foskey? Are some of these guys just going to be like, what are we doing here? Instead, what did they do? They rallied. Freeman just kept on message, kept that word going, because this is what Patterson and Bertrand were talking about in their press conference with Freeman this week, talking about this guy's just has been the same every day. I think it was Bertrand who said consistency. It's like, what's the best thing about Freeman? He's on consistency, just every day. And kudos to Marcus Freeman. This was an 0-2 football team. And what did Freeman say after in the press conference? He was like, I have no idea what's going on here, right? He was like lost and confused. It's like, everyone go back on the Blue and Gold webpage and find the articles and reread, or go on our YouTube and rewatch some of the stuff after Marshall. This program was up in the air, the first time head football coach. And then boom, Freeman has 9 wins. So kudos to him and this coaching staff. Kudos.
Hold on.
What do we got? We got more air horns.
I hope that's not too loud. I have no idea how loud that is.
Man.
John!
Hey, they just beat an SEC team in the bowl game. Cheers, everybody. Loud, Mike. Make it loud. This ice water is good as it can be.
Sean Fitzjohn says, appreciate the commentary this year, fellas. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very generous. Bring on Hartman. He'll instantly upgrade the QB room. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I feel pretty confident that sorry, I'm still just the super chats. You guys have been amazing. That Hartman ends up at Notre Dame. Feel pretty good about that. Does this game tell you anything new or give you any new feeling on what that battle would be like for next season?
For me, it's if this is official, this all happens, and it goes. You're getting. I mean, going back to one of your original things you said, Mike, was he's only played 3 games, right? Tyler Buckner, it's only his 3rd start.
Yeah.
You got Sam Hartman's coming in who's throwing 110 touchdowns. It's like 110, who's thrown for 13,000 yards, has started 50 games, whatever.
What's your point?
My point is he's the guy. There is no competition. The point is he's the guy. Let him come into Notre Dame. Let him take the football. Let him take all this experience and be the guy next year. Have a true Heisman quarterback at Notre Dame, which is not happening in a long time. Yeah, you can have all the buts you want. Sam Hartman's the quarterback.
Yeah, but if Buckner can clean up these picks, holy crap, Tim. And there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be done with his accuracy.
Yes.
But
that's fine. He's a redshirt freshman. This was his redshirt game. This is only his 3rd game. So this is a redshirt year. He has another year. And I think that him just keep building and practice. And if anything, going back to my point, I said this week, Buckner needs to get in some games. Buckner needs to, and that's the other thing. This year with Angeli, they just let Pine finish them. You get some of these games next year, Buckner's going to come in and finish these things and get experience, getting ready for 2024. So Buckner could be a 2-year starter in 24 and 25. He plays his cards right. So Hartman's the guy. I don't even want to get into it because it's not official. So it's like once it's official, I got
Buckner or Sam Hartman could be legitimately Tom Brady and like a prime Tom Brady. But I know Goolsby will still pull for Pine or Bucks. Definitely not Pine. He'll pull for Buckner. Goolsby loves some Tyler Buckner. But in this show, for me and you, Tim, maybe I'm gonna be playing the devil's advocate all the time for important Buckner because that was not the case this year.
Just real quick on Hartman. Hartman throws. He's relentless. He has no fear. Buckner has no fear the way he played today too, which was a huge positive. Hartman's got no fear. That guy is going to attack downfield. His accuracy is that dude's accurate. You want to watch a quarterback throw the football when it's 3rd and 12 and I got to get to that guy? He's going to get to that guy. Yeah. He's unbelievable. Someone posted on Twitter, I was reading, I think it was yesterday, he's the number 1 ranked quarterback on 3rd down passing. So in the country, the guy's thrown almost 80 touchdowns the last 2 football seasons. People should be excited once this is official. He's coming in. You have him and Tyler Buckner. You got 2 damn good quarterbacks at Notre Dame.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some comments real quick, and really do want to thank you again for this, John. Michael, appreciate your very generous super chat. You as well, Harold. Just some awesome stuff today, guys. Really, really do appreciate it. Renee Martinez drops off $5 and says, "I've been a believer in Freeman, not in Buckner, but I can bet when I'm wrong, he pulled it out." Buckner was outstanding and terrible in the same game. Like that was very exciting. Drunk Vigo says, "Let's get Goolsby on." So Goolsby, if you're watching live right now and you want to hop on, bro.
Thought he was in a plane when he was texting us.
Tim, I have to tell you, I just kind of skimmed the text because they
no. He and I had, he and I had a couple thousand.
I have the group text on mute. I will say that I do because otherwise
totally
my watch would be buzzing nonstop. So all right, well, no, Mr. Goolsby, you guys for him.
What was? Oh, here's Buckner's final stats here: 18 for 33 for 274.
You know, I popped him on the screen a good bit, Mr.
Yeah, I know you did. But you're going. I was just someone was talking about Buckner. I wanted to see what they were.
Yeah.
So.
All right, some more super chats. Starting 3 says TB12 2023. Right with Tyler. I just love that we have quarterback battles to talk about. I mean,
I love it.
This is good. This is good for us. You know, it wasn't fun like Book going into his last year. It was like we have nothing. There wasn't, nothing really interesting to talk about the quarterback position, but we certainly will right now. A totally different point, Tim.
Sure.
Knock on wood. I don't know if knock on wood's the right thing. No one's really talking about this, but Notre Dame has not had any coaches leave. Like maybe that comes after, the national championship game, all the season's over, but it's pretty rare. Maybe not rare, but you usually have a coach leave. At least one coach goes.
But it's also year one. So we got to remember.
It is, but Mike Mickens has been here a few years. Chris O'Leary's been here for a long time. If Al Golden, I don't think Al Golden loves recruiting. If Al Golden gets an NFL job that he wants, or Tommy Rees, there's a lot. So I think that, and then the transfer portal. Obviously, I'm expecting a few Notre Dame players to certainly enter the portal.
They have to enter the portal. Notre Dame needs 10 to enter the portal with some of the transfers they want to get because they're at like 95 scholarships right now. So yeah, Notre Dame needs guys to hit the portal. So
yeah. Starting 3, appreciate the $10. Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't been the biggest Tyler Buckner fan. I'm a lot more of the devil's advocate, but wow, that was the perfect game for me in doing these YouTube shows. Like there's so much to dissect with Tyler Buckner, and we'll talk about it more shortly. But yeah, appreciate the super chat. Matty P says Reese is a young, outstanding play caller who's only going to get better. Notre Dame's lucky to have him. Plus, the scheme attracts talented skill players. Tommy, are you watching Tom, you should be with the team. I don't know why you're watching the show right now.
Hey, Mike, I've said this before, whether it's true or not. I think a lot of the anti-Tommy Rees is Brian Kelly. It just is. And I think I just truly believe that. I think, especially on our message board. I mean, the message board people, the same guys that get after Rees, if there's a story about Brian Kelly, boom, they're attacking Brian Kelly within 16 minutes of a post. So I think a lot of it's that. But man, you look at the stats. It's like they almost had 300 rushing, 300 passing. How is that an offensive issue? Those dudes were playing. They were down early. They could have just not rallied, and they rallied. That's going back to the super chat someone gave, the $99 one about believing in Freeman. I mean, this is a Marcus Freeman win. Just playing horrible at the beginning and then getting all the way to that 60-minute mark. Getting to that 60-minute mark, meaning we finish the game. You play your tail off for 60 minutes, and they did that. It was a huge win for Notre Dame. I know people, we'll probably get comments later. Oh, you beat an 8-4 team. Yeah, they're 8-4. We're not saying they just beat Bama in the semifinals. We're saying this was a big win for Notre Dame in this season to end this season. Outstanding victory.
In all seriousness, Matt, aka Tommy Rees, appreciate the super chat. All right, we had a couple more. Does Brian Kelly win this game, Tim?
I could care less.
I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's let me give my 30-second commentary here, which you and I have talked about before. If Brian Kelly was on this team, they're 10-2. Do you want a 10-2 Brian Kelly bringing in, let's say he brought in 12 4-stars, right, Mike? He brought in 12 this year and is 10 3-stars. Or do you want Marcus Freeman, a little bit of the struggles, a little bit of the up and down, the roller coasters, who's now brought in back-to-back recruiting classes of over 70% blue chips? That's what's going to happen next year, more than likely, is this he gets going. It's like you take some of these losses, some of these momentum, huge wins. Who cares what Brian Kelly does? Wish him. I don't even know who he's playing in a bowl game. I'll be honest with you. I have no clue. I only care about the Final Four that's going to go on tomorrow night. I really, who are they playing in a bowl game? I really don't know. So if someone in the chat can let me know who LSU's playing,
Purdue.
I have not looked it up for a millisecond.
Yeah. Purdue.
So Brian Kelly had his time. You had your shot. As my wife, who's a Notre Dame alum, said, "You're here 12 years. You didn't win it. See ya." So
they play Purdue on the second.
Without a coach. Nice. Okay, good to go. Without a coach, without a quarterback, without all kinds of things. So
they got Drew Brees, though.
Well, that's right. Brees is coaching that, isn't he? Okay. Oh, God.
All right. Ron says, well done, guys. Even CDA watches you. Canada watches us. That's pretty cool. Appreciate you, Ron. Appreciate the $10 and the super chat. Awesome. Thank you, Ron. Where else do we go, Tim? What else? What else? We'll talk for a little bit more.
I mean, you know what? Put up the drive chart, Mike. Let's go back to the drive chart. Well, let's just go back to the defense. You know what's crazy? Early on, when they were, it looked like they'd given up so many scores. They'd really only given up two defensive touchdowns. It was the other stuff, that was going crazy. So defensively, they were playing outstanding. Defensively, they had so much momentum going until this cover 2 touchdown over Watts and Clarence Lewis, which goes back to my mentality. And I hope Goolsby talks about this some on Sunday night, is that killer instinct. Too many times when Notre Dame has gotten into a game, defense, boom, instantly gives up a touchdown. I have a chart somewhere at home where it's happened like 12 times this year, and it's just frustrating. So, the one touchdown drive they had right there. But look at all those punts nestled in between all, that one horrible touchdown pass over Clarence Lewis. So defensively really stepped up and played their tails off. They did. They played their tails off.
Yeah. Which goes back to just a comment on defense in general I made earlier. It's like, it's just average. I mean,
because there's no dominant. I mean, like in today, without a Foskey, there's no dude out there. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I wrote down the first half MVP on D. I thought was Kaiser. Jack Kaiser is playing his butt off out there because he's probably fired up because Snead's taking his reps. Kaiser had a couple tackles for losses and was all over the place. So I thought he played outstanding. And and then there wasn't no dude out there, no dominant football figure, but guys were playing hard, getting some rush. Tuli Alamaka played his tail off. Like I said, Patello had 2 sacks, which bodes well for him next year. There's a lot. I mean, the only guys that played today on defense that are not coming back are Chris Smith and Bracey.
At least on paper.
On paper, exactly. I mean, Maris could be back. Bertrand Kaiser could come back. Adamiola could come back for a 6th year, number 9. His brother's going pro because his time's done. But on paper, technically, it was really only Chris Smith and Bracey. Bracey did not play good, especially with Morrison. Morrison's dominant. Holy moly. As soon as he goes out, the very first pass, they go right to Clarence Lewis. He should have been expecting that. My God. The All-American's out. They're going to attack me because they were going after Bracey a ton today. And man, a lot of good football players next year. And just real quick on 2023 is, I hate to say it, but they got 3 scrimmages. Let's be honest. They got 3 scrimmages. You got Navy, Tennessee State, and Central Michigan.
Don't say that.
I'm going to say it.
Don't say that.
I'm going to say it because there's no way in the world Marcus Freeman's going to be chilling next year. He's got 3 games to get this football team ready for the mighty Buckeyes. Game 4, night game in South Bend. He's got 3 games to get this football team ready.
I don't know, Tim. Don't say that.
Oh, I'm going to say it, Mike.
I mean, 38. South Carolina scored 38 points, but 2 of them were, Buckner pick 6s. So
fake field goal. 21 points, Mike, of just mush.
Yeah.
That fake field goal.
Yeah. So that will not even count that against the defense either. So maybe I was too harsh on the defense. It looked pretty poor early in South Carolina gifted Notre Dame that with that fumble on the second drive, which I do.
Rattler goes
turned into a touchdown.
Yeah, and Rattler goes open and drive right down the field. I mean, he looked like Caleb Williams out there. Rattler's a football player. That guy can sling it.
He did look good.
He's a good football player. He really is.
Yeah. Just or a comment from Susan. Said join late. You guys talk about Lindsey's great game. I don't think we've talked much about Braden Lindsey, but
I mentioned it real quick. But yeah, I mean, we talked about obviously the fake punt, the touchdown. I mean, just two huge football plays for him right there as he ends his Notre Dame career. So yeah, I thought he played outstanding. A couple other catches right there. You see 4 catches, and yeah, the touchdown was so sweet. That deep crosser over there, boom, hit him. Beautiful pass too.
yeah, was it a really deep cross? It seemed like a post that kind of drifted left.
Yeah, drifted late all the way across. Yeah,
it worked. I mean, the safety was nowhere to be found. Right?
No, it was that play action that held him, and Lindsey got right on top, and he was gone. It was I mean, that was a one-play drive. Notre Dame had 2 one-play drives today. You had the Diggs. How about the 75-yard pass to Diggs? Which, by the way, I think you'll have to go back and laugh. I was texting to Goolsby like, man, when is Diggs going to make a play? I'm literally telling my mother-in-law this too, and then I start laughing like, "Oh my god!"
There was a couple of times I was actually reading what you guys were saying. I was like, I really want to be sassy, but I'll just piss you guys off. Like Goolsby said something about, man, Notre Dame started within their own 10 every single drive, and they hadn't done that once. I didn't want to say
it just seemed they had the one. Yeah, they only had that one.
It was at the 12, but yeah, all the rest of them were 25. But yeah, there were some things you said. I was like, I could poke Tim here, but
that's a Notre Dame captain and a lifelong fan.
I don't want to piss off our talent. Is basically what I decided, but I probably just did if Goolsby's listening. So.
But I could laugh. I did that on the Lindsey one. I looked at my mother-in-law like, oh my god, that guy just went 75, and I'm texting the guys like, when's he going to make a play?
Diggs,
yeah, I love it.
I want to talk about like some players you're really excited about for next season, Tim. Some young guys. I'll talk offense, and you can go defense.
Sure.
Jaden Thomas.
Man.
I mean, I've been so pleasantly surprised with him. I'm really excited about him. Excited about Deion Colsey. Lorenzo Styles has been a disappointment, but if he comes back next year, which it's just so I hate speculating on that kind of stuff, but this is just the fact of college football now. When players aren't doing well, they just often will just bolt. He still has a ton of talent. Running back, really excited for Jadarian Price, the freshman who was it an Achilles?
Yeah, the Achilles.
I mean, I think the world of him. And when you just see pictures of him, the dude's yoked. So tight end, Mitch Evans. There's something about him. When he was being recruited, Notre Dame was really excited about him in that 2021 recruiting class, but it was just all raw talent. Yeah. He hadn't really been a workout warrior at that point. Like his bench wasn't that much. He was just this big jumbo athlete, and you just wanted to get him in your room and kind of use a ball of clay. And I think that he has developed really nicely, in his 2 seasons at Notre Dame. And then the offensive line.
Guard, my friend.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
Now, guard. I mean, that's going to be – I can't wait for Tyler Horka and Patrick Angle to be at those spring practices and watch some O-line and who it's going to be the 2 offensive guards, because they got 2 NFL tackles. They have Zeke in the middle, who started every game this year. Who are the guards? That is going to be the biggest thing. I mean, you're losing a 6-year and a 5th-year 2-time captain. It's a lot of football games. So I know people are hyped up, excited and stuff like that. But if you got no interior strength, man, you could get beat really bad real quick if you don't have some guards. But there's talent, and we know that. There's a lot of really good talent up there. So I can't wait for that battle.
Yeah. Yeah, comment saying Raridan. I think Eli Raridan, when he comes back from injury and he can stay healthy. Yeah, Eli Raridan, nice talent.
Let me be a devil's advocate off of you real quick, Mike. Who is running a go route on the wide receivers?
Tobias Merriweather. There's another player I'm really excited about. There you go.
As long as he keeps running hard, unlike the one today, where
do you think he lost it?
What's that?
Do you think he just lost it and he just couldn't find it?
The announcer said that, but he still beat the guy. Did you see him? He was still in front of the South Carolina guys. Maybe he didn't think it was a pass play. I have no idea. Maybe he's a freshman. I mean, he got pulled multiple times this year, right? Early on for not knowing what the heck he's doing. Is that one of those where, he thought it was going to be a zone read, dump pass? I don't know. But if he keeps running, if he just looks up, he catches the ball, he's going to score a touchdown. So, but I hear you. Tobias is, man, hey, he looks slow as molasses, but he must be crazy fast with those long legs. He looks slow. I know he's not. I'm just saying, when you watch him, he's looking slow. Even on that one where, he looked like he stopped running, he beats the guy. So that tells you he's damn fast, which is just laughable. So he's got I'm really excited to see him. If he, once he just gets everything, I guess, mentally rolling,
What about defensively, Tim?
A ton of guys are returning. Obviously the number one guy is how about the corner? How about the cornerbacks? You have 2 NFL corners.
Yeah.
That could play man, that you just get up in your face and run with you. The Morrison interception, he's just running with them. He's like bored, turns around, oh, the ball's coming, quick pick. Unbelievable skill. To me, it's this group of Vipers. It's these group of these backer guys, these Sneeds, Tulialamaka, Botello. And then, Mike, I watched the Notre Dame when they're getting off the bus today. The official webpage always does a Facebook thing. Josh Burnham, how big is this guy? Because he looked like a dude walking off the bus. I'm talking, Mike. I'm a upper body, shoulders, huge. I know Mike. He's one of Mike Goolsby's favorite players. I saw that guy. I was like, man, I can't wait to watch that guy in the spring, because I know he's been talked about a lot. One of those hidden, red shirts who's just, they know this guy's going to play. That's why they moved him to the position he is. He looked like a 22-year-old walking off the bus today. So he was just one of those, as you asked that question, I instantly thought about. Really excited for him. And then just, we're going to talk a billion times about this linebacker core. How does it look? Me personally, I think they're going to start merging this Viper into a rush drop more combo. I think we're going to start seeing, meaning more of a 3-3 type of a concept out of that Viper, meaning we're going to drop him a lot. We're going to pop the Mike or the Will more, instead of bringing the Mike or Will, which we always saw with Marist a ton and Foskey rushing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some form of a hybrid 3-3 type of wildness, because there's, Mike, you got to get these guys on the field.
Yeah.
I think the team's strength, or at least defensive strength, might be all these dudes. They're all these hybrid guys. Burnham, Sneed, Tulialamaka, Botello. Who else am I missing? There's got to be another one I'm missing. There's a bunch of these dudes that, and if Adamiola comes back as a 6-year rush in, you got 5 dudes you got to get on the football field. And that's going to be an awesome experiment how they do that.
As you think back of like our Wednesday night live show and recording our preview show for this Gator Bowl, Tim, we talk about so much, like you just don't know what to expect.
Oh man.
One of those things with the quarterback spot, like we didn't know if we were going to see Steve Angeli. We thought it might be a little bit of 2 QB and, like a true exhibition and let both guys play. I'd posted on the Blue and Gold message board this morning that unless Buckner stinks or there's a blowout or he gets hurt, their game plan is not to play Steve Angeli.
Yeah. Which is smart today, the way this whole game, ended out. So they must have just, like you're saying, we're going to ride with him.
So again, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you feel any differently about Tyler Buckner? Like, did you learn something like new about him, or what do you think?
He looked like the junior highlight film. That's what he looked like. He looked like his junior highlight film. When like I said, when he all state and they won the state title at the Bishop School there in La Jolla, at the small level in California.
They lost the state title game.
Oh, they did lose the state title. Okay, guys. I know they won the SoCal down below, but that's what it looked like. Him throwing the deep pass, even the one the bias. He's getting crushed, and he slings that ball down the sideline. That's why I was like, Tobias, keep running. You're walking in for a touchdown. but then he does some head scratchers where he's hitting people on the feet. He's got the one crosser to Colsey or back of the end zone to Colsey. He just leads him too much. But man, his running ability is Notre Dame's never had a guy like this. They've never had it. Since Jarius Jackson. We want to get into him, a guy that could run and throw. He played in the NFL, so it's been a long time. Buckner's running ability, because South Carolina probably didn't expect it, and all of a sudden when he's ripping off runs, but he's running by those guys. So does he change me? No, I've always liked Buckner. I was excited for Buckner for this reason today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he could do, down the road. And I really hope he takes a 6-year quarterback coming in and learn from him a lot of football. And for me, if I'm Reese, if I'm Freeman, you got to keep this guy's head in the game. You got to get him in the game. And he's not a gadget guy. He could go in and run an offense.
Yeah. Tim, this offseason might be one of the most interesting we've had at Notre Dame in a long time. And there's plenty, like this past offseason was really interesting as well. But this one, if Hartman does come in and you have a quarterback battle like we have not seen at Notre Dame in a long time, how does Buckner react to, another quarterback coming in? What does it mean for Steve Angeli? Expectations are going to be raised a level, especially if, you do get this quarterback position figured out. This 2023 season is going to be so fantastic. And I would urge maybe some Notre Dame fans who just kind of watch these YouTube shows just during the season, and maybe you don't read a lot or watch these videos in the off season. Take that next step to become a legitimate nuthead diehard Notre Dame fan. You're already a diehard Notre Dame fan, but now take that next step to now spending all your Wednesday nights with Mike Singer and Tim Hyde, watching our Notre Dame football show. Because we're going to keep bringing it in the off season. Recruiting content, analysis of all the news and notes that going on in Notre Dame football, all the latest updates, transfers in, transfers out. We'll have, videos and written articles at blueandgold.com. And our current offer, which this is going away soon, I am told, $10 gets you access until the start of next football season. So definitely hop on that deal. Head to blueandgold.com to get in the message board, the loose emoji board. Read all of our content at blueandgold.com. Our YouTube channel is just only going to take the next steps. We got some really exciting ideas that we'll implement in the off season. And we'll just be bigger and better for next season. Tim, it's been a very enjoyable season. Very blessed to have you on our team for the past 2 years. I think we first did that video on Tyson Ford in January 2021. And, we're approaching 2 years here having you on our team. So that's going to do it. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was going to say, you're right. 2 seasons, Mike. So year 3, I'm going to agree with everything you said. This 2023 offseason, if everything, is going to be electric. It really is. I think the expectations after this game heading into the spring, great recruiting class coming in. 18 of them, 15, 16, whatever, 18 of them or whatever, early enrollees. So you're going to be busy as could be. It's going to be wild. This spring is going to be intense with so many guys coming here ready to play. And like I said, it's like 80-something% of the roster that guys are on the field today are going to be playing in Dublin, Ireland, more than likely. And it's a lot of experience coming back. 3 top 10 teams again, Buckeyes, Clemson, USC. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a season.
All right. It's our final post-game show of the 2022 season. It's been amazing. Appreciate you guys always for watching live, watching back, and listening via podcast as well. Head over to blueandgold.com. But it will have even more YouTube content to post tonight, so make sure you check that out. But Mike Singer, Tim Hyde signing off for our last time in 2022.